Once upon a time, there came a day of such monumental significance to Nintendo's long history that before the sun set that day, the way the world perceived Nintendo changed forever. That day was May 5th, 2006, the day Nintendo stepped out of the shadow of the lackluster public image they had carried and reinvented themselves on their own terms with a portable and a console, both of which ignored the horsepower firefight and instead changed the industry not by being the most powerful, but by being absolutely new to newcomers and to veteran gamers alike. 5906 was the day that Nintendo, who many so-called experts considered a vestigial remnant of the 8 and 16-bit glory days, that had no place in the 7th generation, whose best bet was to call it quits or to go crawling to Sony or Microsoft and go third party. 5906 was the day that that same Nintendo became the axis of that year's E3 and turned their oddly named, undersized, underpowered console into the dominant platform of that generation. Nintendo commemorated that day by issuing a 5906 Nintendo DS system, which I am honored to own, one of the only 50 that exist. The voyage, the journey that Nintendo and their fans embarked upon on 5906 is preparing to enter its next chapter. In 150 days, on June 6, 2012, Nintendo will bring the true form of their 6th generation into the light of day at their E3 2012 presentation, and trust me, Nintendo is already preparing for that moment and that presentation right now. Behind the scenes, engineers and developers are scrambling to make Wii U's hardware and software as perfect as possible to deliver Nintendo's vision for their 8th generation. You can be sure that Reggie and Iwata and all the others that are going to appear on stage have already taken time from their schedules to consider their scripts, and an even larger team of planners and organizers whose names we're never even going to hear are deliberating on how to turn Nintendo's E3 2012 stage into the sun itself as Wii U emerges. And then there's us, the gamers, the Nintendo fans, the ones that are so dedicated and motivated that not only do we play video games, but we set aside more time still to discuss them and debate them on the internet and in person. But what about us? What role do we have to play aside from just playing when that time comes later this year? This is the time for Nintendo gamers to stand up for their own vision for Nintendo's 8th generation, and we're not going to sit back and wait around this time. We have voices and opinions, and in 2011, you know that more than ever before, we showed Nintendo and the world that Nintendo fans won't accept going unnoticed. Fans have energy, and fans that are as dedicated and loyal and outspoken as Nintendo's have tremendous energy. And when fanatics focus their energy, they make waves, and the world beyond the fandom is forced to take notice. So, in Nintendo's 123rd year of business, as the true form of their 6th home console emerges and comes to fruition by year-end, Nintendo fans stand poised to make waves that will not only make Nintendo take notice of you and hear your voices, but will obligate the world to take notice of Nintendo's 8th generation storm surge. And to act as a funnel to channel that energy, I am thrilled to announce a grassroots fan initiative named Operation Bluewave. Operation Bluewave, in short, aims to focus Nintendo fan energy on the internet into an epic burst of noise directed at Nintendo and at the gaming world and at the world at large in the months preceding Nintendo's E3 2012 presentation, with the intent of making that presentation Nintendo's best ever. In 2011, we've seen the things fans from other fandoms can accomplish when they act with unified intent through social networks, and if Harry Potter fans and Justin Bieber fans can do it, you know damn well we can, and if we can't, we're going to have a hell of a fun time trying. But really, Operation Bluewave's success has to come in numbers. 100 drops of water can fill a glass, they can fill a bucket, but it takes thousands of drops in the same place at the same time to make the sort of wave we need to clear the way for Nintendo's 8th generation revolution. For those of you watching who choose to become part of this grassroots initiative, consider your first mission this: spread the word. Follow and retweet Bluewave's Twitter feed. Like Operation Bluewave on Facebook. Follow and reblog Operation Bluewave's blog on Tumblr. Make your own Operation Bluewave videos here on YouTube. And stay tuned to my own channel for more news. Operation Bluewave presents an opportunity for the most active, passionate gamers to make their support for Nintendo visible and tangible in a way it has never before. And that is what will lead to increased Wii U interest from developers who overlooked the Wii. This is a chance to show those developers who passed on earlier Nintendo consoles that the dedicated gamers who now spend their time on DS and on Wii and on 3DS aren't just a negligible subset of Nintendo's audience, but are in fact the core at the forefront of Nintendo's audience. So, in that spirit, future missions and activities are planned as part of Operation Bluewave, but for those to be successful, those of you watching this video that wish to take part must spread the word. So, on Operation Bluewave's Facebook page, on the Tumblr blog, and on its webpage at supertrainstationh.com, you will find a plethora of promotional images you can use however you like to help get the word out. But most importantly, I'd like to draw you to Operation Bluewave's Twitter feed, as news and updates related to Operation Bluewave activities and Nintendo and E3 related news will be updated there most frequently and in real time. And certain key Operation Bluewave activities in the future will revolve chiefly around Twitter, but those activities will happen in other ways as well. So those of you unfamiliar with Twitter, Twitter is a social networking site that allows users to post short instant messages to a web page. Signing up to Twitter literally takes less than 30 seconds, and when you sign up, the first thing you're going to want to do is follow Nintendo America's official Twitter feed. And if you feel the need, why not tell them right then and there that you followed them in anticipation for E3 2012. They're going to love to hear that from you, and everything that gets tweeted at Nintendo of America does in fact get read by, in a way, employees who will send those messages up into the upper echelons of Nintendo management, meaning Reggie and his team. Now, as for YouTube, I seriously considered starting a new separate YouTube account for Operation Bluewave, but in the end, I decided that the most effective way to reach the target audience, the most appropriate way, would be to utilize my existing YouTube channel. For those of you who choose to support and follow Operation Bluewave, I urge you to remember that this is a pro-Nintendo movement. Operation Bluewave is in support of Nintendo and their vision for the 8th generation, however, it should not be misconstrued as an anti-PlayStation or an anti-Xbox movement. Operation Bluewave is all positive, all drama-free, all about fun, and all about the joy all gamers feel when they're behind their controller playing the games they love, out in the community supporting the game creators they love, no matter what system that is. And that ignorant console wars nonsense is just a distraction from that. It has no place here. It's going to rob the energy that Operation Bluewave needs to achieve its goals. So, now, to get Operation Bluewave up to a fun, upbeat, optimistic start, visitors to Operation Bluewave's Twitter, Facebook, and website pages will find waiting for them a wonderful E3 2012 printable countdown calendar, counting down from 150 days down to 101 days leading up to Nintendo's E3 2012 presentation. Now, in 50 days, a new printable countdown calendar will become available, and by then, if Operation Bluewave gains momentum, we'll have the numbers we need to begin making a dent in some of this operation's more ambitious missions, the specific manner of which will be shared as the time arises. So, to build momentum for Operation Bluewave right out the gate, the way you can do that is to get this calendar out there. The printable countdown calendars I've made for for Nintendo's E3 2009, 2010, 2011 presentations turned out to be immensely popular and successful. So reblog this new calendar from Operation Bluewave's Twitter and Tumblr accounts, share it on your communities and message boards, link to it in your signatures, make videos about it, and tell your friends that you're using it to mark the days until E3. So, thank you very, very much for your support and for your time, and if you choose to become part of Operation Bluewave, I look forward to seeing you on Facebook and Twitter and all across the internet as our numbers grow, and as E3 2012 and Nintendo's long-awaited 6-home console, the universal Wii experience, approaches.